Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. As you can already tell by the title, I'm doing a full face using only Wet n Wild. I'm really excited because I love doing full faces using like drugstore makeup just so you guys can see like what's good out there, so you can go out and get it for a cheaper price obviously than having like a higher end brand. But yeah, if you want to see this full face review, then keep on watching. Okay, so first I want to say that I don't think Wet n Wild has a primer, and if they do, I totally missed it at Walgreens or my CVS. And so I'm just going to go straight into my foundation, and it's going to be the Photo Focus foundation in the shade Cream Beige. This might be a little too light for me, but we'll see how that goes. And I really love this spatula. I feel like you can really get a lot of the product out. Oh no, this shade is really good for my skin color. I'm just going to apply it all over my face, and I'm going to blend it out. And I've already used this foundation, so I already know that I absolutely love it. I think it's such a good foundation. It looks like a high-end foundation too, and I always get complimented on this when I use it. People are like, what foundation are you using? They're so surprised when I'm like, oh, it's the Wet n Wild Photo Focus one. And they're like, so when I recommend it, they go out and they try to like look for it. They're like, it was sold out. Like my shade is sold out, or I can't find it anywhere. And so this one's a really, really good foundation. So if you're looking for a good drugstore foundation, this one's definitely a good one right here. So this is definitely a more medium to full coverage foundation. That's the kind of foundations I absolutely love because I do have blemishes and really dark circles. So that's why I love it. And I think it makes my skin just look so good. So now I'm going to go in with the Photo Focus Concealer. I have not tried this yet, but I've heard really good stuff about it. I'm just going to apply that under my eyes, my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, and on my chin. So off the bat, it is a thicker concealer, which I like because that means it's more full coverage. And it's very blendable. Holy crap, did you see how easy that blended? This concealer might be a little too light for me, but I'll make it work. This is so easy to blend. Holy crap. So it definitely has, wow, it's really good coverage. You can see that my dark circles are almost gone. Okay, so after all that is blended out, I think that concealer is so good. Like my under eye bags are almost gone. Holy crap. I think that concealer was like $3. Yeah, that's a new favorite concealer of mine. Holy butt cheeks, that was a good one. So now I'm going to go in with the contouring palette in So now I'm going to go in with the contouring palette in the shade, there's no shade, just this one. It has like a banana shade and then a contouring shade, and I'm going to use the banana shade just to set my under eyes. And I'm going to take a Morphe M438. Okay, so I really like the banana shade in here. I think it really does set everything, and it really does brighten up the under eye. And what I hate about setting spray, I meant setting powder. What I hate about like setting powders like this in a pan, that it kind of takes off the foundation rather than like sets everything. And that didn't happen with this one, so that's definitely a huge plus. And now I'm going to go in with the contouring shade with a Morphe Y3. I'm just going to contour my cheekbones. I'm going to go on my forehead just to make my forehead appear smaller. Then I'm going to take a small blending brush, a Morphe E18, and I'm going to dab into that contouring shade, and I'm just going to contour my nose. Now I'm going to go back in with that banana shade, and I'm just going to sharpen up the contour, just so it doesn't look like I have a 5 o'clock shadow. I really love this a lot, like a lot. So now I'm going to use this Wet n Wild blush in Pearlescent Pink. This is really pretty, but it has a lot of shimmer to it, but it's like a really pretty shimmer. It reminds me of like the NARS Orgasm blush. So I'm just going to go in with another Morphe brush. Oh yeah, that is really pretty. Oh my god. That is so pretty. So usually I don't like blushes that have shimmer in it, but this is really, really pretty. It gives me a lot of color. It's super pigmented with just like a hint of gold like flakes in there, I guess, but it looks really nice on the skin. I'm not mad at that at all. I think it looks really nice. Wow. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with the Wet n Wild Illuminating palette, and it comes with 4 illuminating shades, so it's just like stripes down. And I feel like these two in the center are not working for me, so I'm going to mix the 2 ends over here just because I feel like it would look better on my skin tone. Okay, so these are really pretty colors, but you have to really build them up for like a really blinding highlight. And there's a whole bunch of fallout, which I don't mind, but I know a lot of people do, so just something to keep in mind. And down the bridge of my nose on my Cupid's bow. I don't hate that highlight, but it's definitely not like amazing. I don't know, I just feel like it's not that great of a highlight. I feel like it's kind of chalky, where it looks like it's sitting on the skin rather than like melting in your skin. So not a fan of this one, but it's not terrible. So now I'm going to spritz my face with some Wet n Wild Photo Focus setting spray just to see if everything will melt in. That was fierce. Okay, so I should have probably sprayed that onto my hand first, but it has like a strong scent to it, but I don't hate it. I just wasn't expecting that. Let me spray a little more. Definitely hold your breath while you're doing that. I don't see it doing really much of a difference to my face. But all it says is it's an all-day wear, so I guess we just have to see if it really does last. But not my favorite setting spray. Definitely not my favorite. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with my eyebrows, and I'm going to take this Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Kit. It looks like this. These powders, I don't really go for powder eyebrows just because I feel like they're not the best. I just like more of like a creamy consistency rather than powdery. Just feel like they slip and slide more, and just not my favorite. And I'm going to go in with my favorite brow product. It's by Tarte. Just because I already could tell that I won't like this because it is really thick. No, and I really want this to work, so I'm going to go in with my favorite brow brush, if I could find it. Okay, so this is my favorite brow brush, and it's by Tarte. I just feel like that's so precise, and I'm just obsessed with it. So I'm going to go in with the lightest shade in the middle, and I'm just going to outline my eyebrows to get it to the shape that I want it. But first, I'm going to use the spoolie to brush everything out.
Don't be blind. Watch me speak from my heart when it comes to you.
Okay, so now I'm going to go back in with the spoolie, and I'm going to try to blend it all out because there are some harsh lines, and there's a lot of powder in certain areas that I want to be less. I want there to be less powder in, so I'm just going to use this spoolie and brush everything out again. So now that my eyebrows are looking hella crazy, I'm going to go back in with this concealer, and I'm going to use a Morphe small flat brush just to clean up those eyebrows. And then I'm going to use a spoolie, and I'm just going to rub it into the wax that's at the very top. And I'm going to use this to set my eyebrows and keep them in place all day. So now I'm going to go back in with the concealer. I'm just going to prime my lids with this. Okay, I'm going to go back in with that banana powder and the contouring brush. I'm just going to set that concealer. So for eyeshadow today, I only have this Au Naturel Wet n Wild palette. And I also have this glitter from Wet n Wild called Brass. Super pretty and super glittery. Then I also have these two, the new Wet n Wild Metallic Liquid Eyeshadows that I really, really want to try. Then the only lip that I have from Wet n Wild is this like pinky color. And if I use one of these, there's no way in hell that this is going to match. So I don't know what to do. Okay, so I'm not going to be using these two today, but I will be using them in a different video later on. But I'm going to go in with this All Natural palette. I can open it. And I'm going to take a Morphe blending brush, and I'm going to go in with this, the palest shade right here, and I'm just going to put that all over my lid. Okay, so with the same blending brush, I'm going to dip into this kind of gray, tannish color right here. I'm just going to put that all in my crease. So for these shadows, you really need to build them up to get to the color that you want. So these shadows do have the pigment. It's not crazy pigmented. And they're kind of easy to blend. I feel like there's some patchiness right here, but the more I work with it, the better it starts to blend in. So now with the Morphe M518, I'm going to take the shade right next to it. It's like a really pretty matte maroon shade. And I'm going to put that in my crease just a little bit lower than the first shade. After that, I'm going to go back in with the first shade, and I'm just going to blend both of those colors together so there's no harsh lines. So now I'm going to go in with an Morphe M213 back into that lightest shade that I use for all over my eye, and I'm just going to put that right in the front and then all on my lid.
You are unforgettable. I need to get you alone. Now you want to just pop bubbly in the cool. It's not good enough for me.
Now I'm going to go back in with the blending brush with that grayish shade, and I'm just going to go over it again, but I'm not going to add any more product. So now I'm going to go in with the Wet n Wild Felt Tip Liner. I'm just going to make a wing liner. So what I noticed about this liner is that it is transferring to my lower lash line, so it's kind of watery, but overall it's not a bad liner, especially for something really affordable. I think it's super black. Okay, so the eyes are done, and I'm debating on putting this on my lower lash line. This is a really pretty glitter, but I don't know how it would look on my lower lash line. I'm going to try it, but I'm going to put... No, I'm not going to use glitter glue, just to see how it looks without it. Dab it. On my inner corner. And then drag it down. I really like this glitter. I think it looks super cute. And I was worried that once I went through the first layer, the bottom layer would just be like a sticky consistency with no glitter, but that's not the case. There's still glitter. And I think it looks really pretty in the inner corner, just like that. So I'm going to go back in with the first shadow. I'm sorry, the second shadow that I used in the grayish tone. And I'm going to put that on my lower lash line. Then I'm going to go in with the Mikasa E310. And if you want to save money on your Mikasa brushes, then you can use code BIENNAA25 at checkout to save 25% off. But I'm going to use this, and I'm going to dip into that reddish plum color that I use and just put that closer to my lower lash line. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with a Wet n Wild eyeliner in the shade Calling Your Buff, and it's like a super neutral, and I'm just going to put that into my lower lash line. This color isn't really transferring well onto my skin, which sucks because I really liked this color. Okay, now I'm going to go in with my mascara, and I'm going to use the Prime and Seal and then the Lengthen. These two together are really, really good. I've used these already, but what I've noticed is throughout the day they start to flake. And it gets in my eye and it's just kind of annoying. So I only try to go in with 1 or 2 coats just so I don't get so much product. But this is a good mascara if you're going to just go out for like a couple of hours, 1 or 2. Because then after that it just starts to flake off and get into your eyeballs. And that really effing hurts and it's hard to get out. So now I'm going to go in with number 2. And these are just fibers to really lengthen your eyelashes. And then I'm going to go back in with the first one to really conceal everything. Okay, so this is just 1 coat of the mascara, and I think it looks super pretty, but again, throughout the day it does flake off and that kind of gets annoying, but I really do like it. I feel like my eyelashes are really lengthened and they're curled too, so I really enjoy that, but just for a few hours. So now I'm going to go in with the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit in the shade Coral Corruption. This is really pretty, and I hope this kind of matches because this is the only Wet n Wild lip that I have. So I opened it, and the top of this applicator is like broken. This was hanging off, so it was kind of hard to put on. I just ripped it off, so hopefully that works. So I'm not a fan of this one, so I'm just going to take this off. Okay, so I went in with the Maybelline lipstick, and this definitely looks a lot better. So here's my final Wet n Wild look. I really, really enjoyed everything. The only thing that I didn't really like is the liner. I felt like it keeps transferring down on my lower lash line, and I hate that, especially because I don't want black there. And another thing is the brow. I feel like it takes a lot longer to do a precise brow with brow powders like this, but it's a good beginner kit. And yeah, everything else I really, really loved. And I love Wet n Wild. I think they have such a great brand, and I think they're really, really improving on their different foundations and everything that they're coming out with. So yeah, if you want to see another full face, then please comment down below, let me know, give this video a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel because I know you want to, and I will see you on my next video. Bye.